G'day battlers, and today we have taken over Panic stream because today we're going to be going through his sweep through his own Guardian Cup tournament. Panic, one of the best battlers in the world, ranked number 3 in the entire world on the Silph rankings, number 1 in the United States. So he's definitely he's got some street cred behind him. So definitely worth taking a look to see sort of how he approached this tournament, how he sort of ran through the teams he was running, that sort of thing. Now, before we get into anything else, I do want to say that you can skip straight to the battles. Timestamps are going to have all of the links down below. But first, I do want to talk about the teams, and also I do want to mention that Panic, being one of those best battlers in the world, is offering some coaching as well. So there's going to be a link in the description down below to his Metafy, so you can get involved on that as well. Because who better to get coached from than the man himself, number 3 in the world. But anyway, this is obviously taken from his Twitch stream, so really nice. It's just really awesome to see sort of these Silph streams still happening on Twitch as well. Obviously, GBL is the big content thing to happen, but huge head out to Panic for still pumping out that Silph content on the Twitch side as well. So give him a follow as well. All sorts of links in the description down below, but enough of Panic on the back. Jump into his team. We can see you've got down the bottom. The bottom row is Panic's team, and the team above that is Negative Ben 10's team, his round 1 opponent, and also one of my patrons. So shout out to him. But taking a look at Panic's team now, he's got the Dragonite. I'll just read through the team. He's got Dragonite, Rainy Castform, Ninetales, Steelix, Toxicroak, and Gourgeist. Dragonite I really like, especially in this meta. We saw it a lot in the Continental Finals last season, where a Dragonite, if you invest some shields, can just absolutely tear through a team. Like, you can almost guarantee that you're going to win the lead if you just burn 2 shields on the Dragonite in the lead, and then you sort of have to play around that a little bit. But in certain team compositions, that could be really important, and I think it's just a really good neutralist. And you can really do a lot of damage, a lot of work in this cup especially. I've also got the Rainy Castform with that Weather Ball spam. Water types are really nice to have with all of the Ninetales running around, the tanks running around like the Steelixes. Ninetales, just that really good neutral coverage. It's got a lot of neutral play up against things like the Vigoroth, which it's sort of a weird spot against Vigoroth. Vigoroth is just a weird Pokemon in general because it is such a sort of neutral... It just exists to have neutral matchups, but Ninetales is sort of nice to have in those sorts of matchups. And then also against Negative Ben 10's team, nice to have up against the Galvantula. Also some good play against Machamp as well. Steelix is that sort of just tank, that rock of your team that can really just, it can dish out a lot of hurt as well, especially against a lot of the Pokemon that are running around. Not as much up against Negative Ben 10's team. I guess he's running double counter, but he still is able to, we might not see Steelix in the first rounds, but it is a really good Pokemon in this meta, so we might see some against some later team compositions. Toxicroak, as that fighter, counter is the best fast move in the game, so having a counter use is pretty much always necessary if it is around. Obviously, because you've got the fighting typing and Vigoroth has the normal typing, you're going to be doing really good damage up against Vigoroth. You can beat up the Machamp as well. You can super beat up the Steelix. You can do pretty well against the Ninetales as well. That was a little bit And then Gourgeist, really interesting Pokemon. I don't think I've featured any battles with Gourgeist on this channel yet, but it does run that sort of Shadow Ball Seed Bomb moveset. So you've got a lot of play there. Shadow Ball, obviously, that another sort of neutral move where you can just do big damage to pretty much anything. Pretty much anything in the entire meta is not going to love a Shadow Ball. And then Seed Bomb has that really nice coverage up against all of the water types that are running around, as well as just doing heaps of damage to things like, Steelix with the ground typing, and even just doing damage to like Vigoroth. But enough of that. I mean, Panic is the man with the plan, the man with the big brain strats. So we're going to be jumping into the battles. Now, we are going to be doing a little bit of jumping around just because we are zooming through his Twitch stream. But in the lead, we do have the Dragonite up against a Alomomola. This is not a bad spot for Dragonite at all. It takes a couple of waterfalls like for a Alomomola to charge up here. Panic deciding to shield up the Psychic, which I'm in support of that play because you're charging up to, you've got the back-to-back Dragon Claw now, and you can just start to unleash that pressure onto the Alomomola. I think Dragonite might win the one shield here. Although no, it didn't burn the shield on the first one, so I think he's going for the full farm down and actually gets it. I kind of thought that Alomomola would have been able to get to another charge move there, but we see the Steelix come in to counter the Dragonite. So we see Panic swap to the Rainy Castform. We see the Galvantula swap in from Negative Ben 10's side. This isn't a terrible spot for Panic here, because that Weather Ball still puts the pressure onto the Galvantula and forces that shield, forces them to throw the charge move here, and then letting this Castform go down is going to be able to bring in, you could kind of go either way. I think that you might be better off bringing in the... Oh no, it brings the Dragonite. Okay, you've got energy ready to go to just put that pressure on straight away. Actually, yeah, that's probably a better play. And yeah, bring that right down. One Dragon Tail and it goes down. And then you've just got the Steelix in the back. So this isn't going to do much at all, but Toxicroaky's in the back. So it's just an easy swap out. And Counter's doing so much damage that they're not even going to get to 2 moves. So you can shield the first crunch. And then even if they get like the defense debuff, you're winning that one easy peasy. So yeah, Panic taking out their first battle up against negative Ben 10. And as I said, I'm going to have to skip ahead now. I did try to cut it all together, but for some reason my editing program wouldn't like the videos. But anyway, Toxicroak up against Alomomola. Bad lead because that ground typing, so swaps out to the Gorgeist. And we see the Steelix come in. So this is obviously a little bit of a bad spot because the crunch is going to be super effective. But Gorgeist is still able to put on a huge amount of work onto that Steelix. Gets the Shadow Ball and lands it. Now going for Seed Bomb as well. So really putting on the hurt. Gets the shield from Steelix as well, which is really nice. As opposed to shielding up the Shadow Ball. Just lets the crunch come through. Not going to be able to get to another Seed Bomb, unfortunately. So Steelix does get a little bit of farm there. But at this point, you've got Toxicroak. I think you might be able to counter down before an Earthquake comes through. I think. Yes, you can. Very nice. I feel like you might have had the crunch ready to go, which could have been worthwhile to try and get the defense debuff. But either way, Alomomola comes back in, throwing the Sludge Bomb to try and just bring that health right down. Swap into Dragonite, and I'm not certain about the energy here, but you might be able to one shield farm down. Oh, actually, I feel like Alomomola might have the energy. Swaps into Machamp. So that's actually sort of interesting. I feel like this is a GG's for Panic here. Like, I think Panic might have this one. Oh, and lets the Dragon Claw go through as well. Yeah, there's nothing that negative Ben 10 can do anymore. That Alomomola will be able to get to a charge move, I think, but yeah, there's no real reason to. They weren't going to get to 2, as they weren't going to be able to burn the shield and then also get a charge move through. We're jumping straight into game 3 now. We've got the Gorgeist. How do you say it? Up against Galvantula. This is a bit of it's sort of give or take. Lunges really do hurt, and you have to respect them as the Gorgeist, but you were able to put on so much hurt with the Shadow Ball. So you can see Lunge brought it down to less than half health, so it can only tank 1. At this point, going to throw the Shadow Ball anyway. Does get the shield. Negative Ben 10 catching on to Panic's strats of going for that big nuke first up. Not going to get to another Shadow Ball before another Lunge comes through, but Panic wants to get it off because he doesn't really have like a great counter to Galvantula in the back. So sort of just forced to try and get as much damage onto this thing as possible, try and get it out of the way. Does get that Shadow Ball through and hangs on with a tiny amount of health. This was a really unfortunate play for negative Ben 10, swapping into the Kanto Ninetales, because it meant that Panic was able to swap into the Ranicast form, switch lock it in. Does have to eat an Overheat, which does hurt, but not as much as negative Ben 10 would like. Really unfortunate for Panic there. He was definitely trying to get that Weather Ball off before the Ninetales Weather Ball, but went through anyway. It doesn't matter too much. Going for the no bubbles here to try and get a little bit of extra farm. He's going to be able to. He's going to get there. And at this point, I think Galvantula. Oh no, we're going to see the Alomomola come in. So they've still got a Thunder. Charges up past the Thunder, throws the Weather Ball for the bait. At this point, I guess hoping to try and get... does get the shield. Really nice. Toxicroak comes in. Obviously, he has to be scared of that Psychic. We saw before that Sludge Bomb doing a fair bit of damage, maybe about half to Alomomola. Really charging up on negative Ben 10 side. Like, super charging. I'm not sure what the... Are they throwing now? Have they... Oh, wait. Have they given up? Okay, I think they might have given up there, but either way, GG's and Panic taking out that first round with a 3-0, and we'll hop into round 2. Okay, now Panic is going up against the Gauntlet, because already in round 2, he's going up against Kreasor. I mean, Panic is like the #1 seed in this tournament as the #3 in the world, so he's going to have to face some really strong opponents as we go through. But we can see Kreasor's team with the Ninetales, Steelix, Empoleon, Dragonite, Primeape, and Galvantula. As before, Dragonite is a really strong Pokemon, and I do like Dragonite up against Panic's team. I like Dragonite pretty much against all teams. Like, there's no team that is safe from Dragonite, so definitely expecting some Dragonite action. Primeape looks okay as well. Yeah, it's rough. Ninetales could be alright as long as... Ninetales is actually pretty good up against Panic's team. Like, I really like Ninetales against the team. It's really just a case of, I guess, trying to get the Ranicast form on. And we sort of saw that in the other game where Ninetales didn't really have... Actually, in the other game, Panic was able to land the running cast form, lock it onto that Ninetales, which is pretty unfortunate for negative man 10, but I think that Ninetales is probably it's a pretty easy bring for kreasor, I think. But we'll jump into the battles here. And, okay, jumping in, we've got the Steelix in the lead up against the Dragonite. So this is actually a really good spot for Panic. This is where he wants the Steelix. See the Primate come in, so swaps into the Dragonite of his own. And at this point, it's just going to absolutely tear through, burn one shield, and then Dragon Tail all the way down and have a ton of energy to throw into the back. Oh no, went for the Dragon Claw. Didn't have to... I'm not... Okay, he's trying to undercharge there. Gets the shield anyway. I think that you can... Oh, no, you can't. You can't Dragon Tail all the way down. So it has to burn the shield. So 2 shield Dragonite, again, pretty much wins all matchups. This is one of them. At this point, kreasor could bring Dragonite back in, but it depends what he's got in the back. It does bring the Dragonite in, and it is the Dragon Breath Dragonite. It doesn't matter too much. They play pretty similarly. It's just a case of whether you sneak in or whatnot. Lets it go through, which is really interesting, and unfortunately for kreasor, it's the Ninetales in the back. Panic seems, you know, he's smiling over there. He's just like, he's got the cast form locked in against the Ninetales. This is game over. If there's the Solar Beam, there's like the potential to land that big nuke through, but I think Panic just has too much health, especially with letting that Dragon Claw come through onto the Dragonite. I guess was keeping the shield for the Ninetales, but either way, was definitely going to be taking that one out. So a pretty rough spot for kreasor, but that's how it goes sometimes. And he's bringing that cast form again, so really trying to catch the Ninetales again. So jumping into game 2 of round 2, we've got the Dragonite into Empoleon. Not a great spot for Dragonite. Like, this is one of those spots where Empoleon, I think, can win the 2 shield. So charges up an energy and then swaps into Raining Cast Form to catch the move. Probably a Drill Peck. Yeah, Drill Peck. So Cast Form can take it pretty well. We see Galvantula come in, but as we saw earlier, Weather Ball still puts on a fair bit of pressure onto Galvantula. And it still doesn't really have a great counter, so Panic is probably pretty happy for him to have just let that Weather Ball come through. He's going to have to tank a charge move here. He could bring in Toxicroak and hope that it's a lunge. Tried to go for the CMP tie, tried to get the Dragon Claw through, but wasn't going to happen, unfortunately. So, eats the discharge, goes for the Dragon Claw now. I think he might have been hoping that that was a lunge, but either way. Hard swapping to Toxicroak now. We'll see what he is running in the back. Obviously, we've seen Empoleon, which isn't a good spot for Toxicroak, but has the Dragonite in the back. So this is not a great spot for Panic at all. His only hope is that this Sludge Bomb sort of lands, because that would be absolutely huge. Unfortunate. Really unfortunate there, and a little bit of lag by the looks of it, but it really didn't matter. I don't think that game was pretty much over. Dragonite didn't need to go for any charge moves, even though Panic still had 2 shields. He wasn't going to get a chance to use them, basically. So we're 1-1 in round 2 now, going into the final game of round 3. Up against, again, kreasor, definitely one of the best battlers out there. I had him on for a talk we did with the how to pick your line of 3. I'll link to that up there. We had a little bit of a panel discussion with some of the best battlers in the world to talk about how to pick your line of 3 based on the teams of 6. But either way, oopsies, jumping into game 3 here. We've got the Gorgeist up against the Ninetales. Not where we want to be at all. Really nice spot for kreasor, but is going to go for the Shadow Ball. Recognizing the pacing, recognizing that you can still get big damage, forces that shield out of kreasor. And at this point, it sort of looks like we're just going for a full sacrifice here, which is, I like the strategy because you're keeping both shields and you've got that Dragonite hanging out in the back, ready to come in. You already have the shield advantage up against kreasor. You can sort of just put that big pressure on. You could tank a Weather Ball, and it looks like he is going to. Yeah, it actually doesn't do much damage at all. Brings in the Galvantula. I feel like at this point, okay, charges up the energy again and then swaps into the Steelix, catching the, hopefully, discharge. It is the lunge. I mean, it still does like no damage, but it is a little bit unfortunate getting that attack debuff. At this point, Galvantula is pretty much, I don't want to say walled, because it is still able to do damage, but it's not doing much. I feel like Steelix can Dragon Tail all the way down here. Yeah. Is going to be able to, and then throw, I guess you just go for crunches and try and get defense debuff onto whatever's in the back so that Dragonite can sort of try and tear through, and still Panic holding onto those 2 shields. I guess really just, oh no, goes for the Earthquake to try and do that big nukey damage, and lands it. That is or absolutely amazing for Panic there. Swaps into Dragonite. I question the play just because they sort of caught the move there. Swaps into Dragonite of Panic's own. I'm a little bit worried here. Gets that shield with the Dragon Tail. Oh, not able to get to that. That one Dragon Claw would have absolutely just demolished, but still got enough health on the Steelix, has the energy, able to get to this crunch, which will take out the Dragonite, and then, oh no, it won't. Has the shield though, has the shield. It's a little bit unlucky, but I think that Steelix can take this out against the health that's left in the back. Yeah, one Dragon Tail. Really close, and what would you expect up against Kreasor, but Panic able to take that one out 2-1, and we'll be going into round 3. So now we're going up against trainer 1522304, who is also known as Bukk. I'm not really sure what the deal is with the player name. I still haven't asked him, but also one of my patrons as well. These patrons just running all over the shop, but still taking on Panic in that #1 seed. He runs really spicy teams, as you can see here. So we've got the Steelix, Luxray, Talonflame, Pelipper, Dragonite, and Machamp. So triple fly, which is definitely pretty interesting. I'd put Steelix in a pretty nice spot, although at the same time, it's kind of not, because Weather Ball from Pelipper, really nice against Steelix. Talonflame, still able to put on some hurt as well, and Dragonite, I mean, yeah, it's kind of interesting. Really interesting team from Bukk. Who'd expect anything less? I'm kind of wondering if maybe Gorgeist could be good here. Actually, I think Rainy Castform. But this is it's gonna be interesting. There's a really interesting team here. I'm really excited to sort of see what Bukk is bringing, and sort of what Panic sort of decides to bring. Because I don't see like an obvious pick to bring in here. Everything has got pros and cons. And some of them some pretty serious cons. So I feel like Rainy Castform might be a pretty good pick to bring onto the line of 3 at least though. So with the Steelix into the Pelipper lead, which is not good at all. You can see Panic over there, not super happy about this one. But you're still not an awful spot because you're still able to put some damage on. Swaps into the Castform, maybe trying to catch that Weather Ball there. But Bukk taking the opportunity to get some extra farm. Goes for the charge move here, which makes me think that it is a Hurricane. Yeah, went for the Hurricane. A little bit unfortunate there. Forgot to do the speedy speeds. Okay, now we're all good. We've got Rainy Castform up against the Dragonite now. Goes through the Weather Ball, trying to get that shield potentially, but yeah, it just wasn't going to happen there, unfortunately. And at this point, I guess you bring in the Steelix. Because you know that there's the Pelipper in the back, and Gorgeist has a little bit of a better time. It's a little bit of a rough spot, but Steelix can definitely just demolish this Dragonite, Dragon Tail all the way down, all shields still up. In comes the Talonflame. Going straight for the charge move there was a little bit unfortunate because it just gave Bukk some extra free turns basically because it is that 5-turn move, but it doesn't matter too much. And going for this second crunch, gets the shield. And at this point, our Talonflame looks like it's going to have to double. I don't think that it's even going to need the second shield. I think Panic's going for it though. Going to try and get. Oh, but there's the swap to the Pelipper, which does let Panic get the crunch off. I wonder if that was a poor play from Bukk there, but swaps into the Pelipper, brings in the Gorgeist, going to be able to burn one shield here and farm down, and then going to have a ton of energy to throw. Oh, tanks it because it's only a Weather Ball. That's rough though. I feel like, oh my gosh, not shielding. Confident that he's going to be able to hang on, throw all of this energy at the Talonflame. Doesn't let the Incinerate come through. That is actually pretty important. Because it does mean that we're probably going to get another charge move off from the Gorgeist here. Gets this second Seed Bomb off. This could be make or break here. Takes it down fairly low. Steelix is going to come in. It has the shield, so able to... Oh, nah. Talonflame able to take it out there. That was close though, and you know Panic was definitely doing all he could to try to take that one out there. But yeah, it was a good battle nonetheless. And still, I feel like it was. I guess it's sort of luck when it comes to denying moves. Like you can't really rely on being able to get that second Seed Bomb off. I guess if it was just like landing a Shadow Ball would have been really nice, but it wasn't going to happen there. So another bad lead for Panic with the Dragonite into Luxray. The Wild Charge is really scary, but look how much damage that Dragon Tail is doing. That is so much. But you can see just by the pacing that, goes for the Psychic Fangs. It gets the defense drop as well. Psychic Fangs, that new move that I kind of keep forgetting exists, just because it's just not that great. But at this point, going to have to burn a second shield or swap out into Steelix, try to catch a move potentially. Bukk swapping into Dragonite, which is a really strange swap. It sort of makes me think that whatever else is in the back is also weak to Steelix. There's nothing else that's really worse than Dragonite though. I'm kind of... I wonder if that was like a wrong swap or what he's sort of planning here. Because yeah, I'm not sure what else... Unless he's just got Talonflame and he was... Okay, maybe it was a case of he wanted to bring Steelix down with the Dragonite so that Talonflame can come in and get some farms, get some sort of flame charges going, get some energy potentially. Either way though, these crunches are going to start to add up. Gets the defense drop on the second one. In comes the Raining Cat Swarm as well. This is really rough for Bukk now. But lands the Brave Bird through. Not the end of the world for Panic though. In comes the Luxray. Can decide to, yeah, let's the Castform go. Can really bring in either Pokemon here. Probably the Dragonite. Just a one Dragon Tail, down it goes, and then there's a little bit of health on the Talonflame. Still has a shield and able to take that one out. So I think the swap to Dragonite really just sealed the deal for Bukk there. I guess he was a little bit weak to the Steelix. Yeah, he didn't really have a counter. He had Dragonite, Talonflame, and Luxray. So I think Panic just had the right idea based on that first game of bringing the Steelix in. I feel like Bukk might potentially answer that with the Machamp in this next game though, or you could bring in the Steelix for the mirror. Speaking of Steelix in the mirror, this is a bit of a, I mean, you don't love to be in this spot, but Panic is also happy that this Steelix isn't up against his own Dragonite. So you sort of give and take a little bit. If you swap, you could get yourself into a much worse spot later on. So you play the bait game, correctly shielding the Earthquake, going for the Earthquake yourself and hoping that Bukk does not shield here. Oh my god, Bukk. Oh no. That is rough. Dragon Tail all the way down. That is so unfortunate. In comes the Talonflame, able to comfortably swap into the Dragonite because he knew that the Steelix was gone. And Bukk really doesn't have another great counter, only this Dragonite for that mirror match. So, you know, they're just going to tear each other apart here. Bukk's Dragonite able to just barely take it out. But at this point, you can bring in the Steelix, get that one Dragon Tail through. You can just soak up this energy from the Dragonite. And you know that it's the Talonflame in the back, so Raining Castform in the back is pretty much going to seal the deal here. A little bit of lag, doesn't matter too much. This Dragon Claw isn't going to do much damage at all. You can just tank that pretty easily. That seemed like more damage than... I don't know if there was lag stuff at play there, but I really don't think it matters. Because the Crunch gonna go through there. Doesn't get the defense debuff, but you don't need it. Raining Castform comes in. You can burn one shield. You can actually let the first one come through because you know that it is either a Flame Charge which you can tank or a Brave Bird that hasn't been boosted. If you shielded a Flame Charge and then a Brave Bird came through, that would be a boosted Brave Bird, so it actually would take you out. So the Panic definitely made the correct call there in not shielding that first move, because the second move might have been fatal if he sort of called it wrong, if he was able to get... Actually... He had the weather ball. He probably would have been able to take it out either way. But with that, Panic taking out the first 3 rounds, which means we'll be going into round 4. Round 4 opponent, JarOfRaisins, is also running Luxray, so we're going to see some more Luxray action by the look of it. Also running that Dragonite, Steelix, Gorgeist, Raining Castform, and Ninetales. I think that we're all sort of getting a vibe about what these teams are sort of looking at, what the Pokemon are that are all around that you sort of have to build to counter. Dragonite in particular is very dangerous, and pretty much you need to bring Steelix just because Dragonite exists. So it's a little bit rough in that regard, but we'll jump into the round 4 here. I still haven't done that look into Gorgeist as to what the best sizes are to bring, but large has been the most common across all of the tournaments that I've been looking at. I'm not sure if there's a reason for that, but we've got the Dragonite up against Gorgeist in the lead, and they swap into that Steelix. I want to do the Speedies as well, but at this point, I mean, Panic swaps into the Mirror Steelix because he doesn't really have a better answer. He hasn't really brought like a counter. Like you've got... Yeah, Steelix is really Panic's best answer for Steelix. So, comes in at the energy disadvantage. Shielding up the Earthquake is pretty big for him, and Panic sort of needs to make a play here to catch the energy up. So, goes for the Crunch to try and get a shield, and he does, which is absolutely huge. He needed that to sort of get back on pace. Charges back up to the Earthquake now that he's actually ahead on energy. Doesn't get the shield that time, but now that Steelix's defense has been dropped by that first Crunch, can probably just Dragon Tail and Crunch down and doesn't need to land the Earthquake. So Panic Saw that he had to make a play, made the play, and it definitely, I was going to say it definitely worked out for him, but that Steelix getting a lot of energy there. Goes for this last crunch, though. Hoping to take it out. And yeah, just lets the Steelix go, wants that energy advantage. So we'll see what JarOfRaisins brings in. Brings in the Gorgeist. So at this point, they're going to have to eat a crunch. They'll need to go pretty much straight for the Seed Bomb to avoid getting hit by a second crunch, which they're pretty much going to have to do, because otherwise they're about to get taken out now. So Gorgeist is gone. And then it's going to be that Dragonite coming back in. Oh no, still had a shield. Kept the shield because of that Steelix matchup. Catches, oh my god, catches the Seed Bomb onto Gorgeist. Oh no, it was a Shadow Ball. Oh, whoa. Okay, oh, this game is not sorted at all. Gets the Seed Bomb off onto the Luxray, which is going to be huge. Dragonite would hate to see a Wild Charge in the back, and Steelix doesn't have a lot of health. I think you bring in the Steelix though, to try and Dragon Tail this Luxray out of existence, bring it as low as possible, try and force some energy out, maybe get this crunch off to take it out. If this is a Psychic Fangs, then Steelix will survive. It's a Wild Charge, still survives because it's resisted, gets the crunch off, gonna take out Luxray, and then there is that little bit of health in the back. Yeah, really nice there. Hard swap into the Dragonite just to try and come in, Dragon Tail down, and take out that first game. Definitely really nice there, and it was a really, I love the Steelix play with that, you know, going for the crunch. You know, and those are sometimes the gambles that you have to play a little bit. You know, it's like, oh, look, I know that this isn't great, but I only have one way to sort of turn this mirror match in my favor, especially when it's a case where Panic didn't have, like, he didn't have his Toxicroak, he didn't have his Raining Cast form, he didn't have that better answer for the Steelix. So, yeah, a little bit rough there, but either way. Jumping into game 2 here, we've got the Steelix in the lead up against Dragonite. Fantastic lead. We see the hard swap into Gorgeist, and we see the swap into Dragonite. As all other Dragonite matchups, it's pretty much a case of burn the shields that you need to burn and just do bulk damage. Shield to the Shadow Ball correctly there, which is really nice. You'd hate to shield a Seed Bomb. Goes for the Dragon Claw before a second charge move can come through. I really like this play as well. It's really just perfect. Puts that pressure onto JarOfRaisins so that they either have to just let it go or burn a shield to get Panic's last shield. So yeah, I really do like that play. Has the Steelix in the back, Panic revealing Outrage for I think the first time in this whole tournament. Which is going to do it's going to do more damage. It almost brings it to half health. With the Dragon Tails, it brings it there. A little bit unfortunate that it wasn't a better reveal on something that would have like been demolished by it, but hey, what can you do? Brings in the Raining Cast form now. Has brought that Steelix counter in after that last battle of being a little bit caught off guard, I think. But crunch coming through, and at this point, you see the swap into Dragonite. Panic has Steelix of his own in a really good spot. Just going to be able to Dragon Tail all the way down. And this is pretty much GG's. Like that, there's not a lot that JarOfRaisins can do at this point. Going to throw another Dragon Claw. Panic doesn't need a shield. One more Dragon Tail. Bada bing, bada lag. Down goes the Dragonite. Here comes that Steelix again. Going to go for the crunch because worst case, you're going to get the defense debuff maybe. That's not worst case at all. That's like a good case. Does gets the shield. This one's going to go through. I feel like Steelix might hang on still. Oh no, still had another shield. Gets the defense debuff at that point though. And it was sort of a case of, you know, Panic still had a shield. He could have just swapped, and even if he like caught a move, would have going to go for the Weather Ball. Takes out game 2 and takes out the second game of round 4. Panic playing really well here for sure. We'll jump into game 3 of the round, and we've got Steelix up against Gorgeist in the lead. Brought in the Cast form and the Ninetales in the back, sort of prepared for that Gorgeist potentially. Steelix still in a good spot though, has the crunch, has that super effective damage. We saw it before, 2 crunches and this thing is gone. Oh my god. And Panic catching the move onto the Ninetales. Is a Shadow Ball, still hurts, but sort of, it's kind of like using up the Ninetales. Ooh, that's, yeah, I thought that was a, I was a little bit worried that he tried to go for the charge move, but lag didn't let him. But it's probably better that it plays out this way, because it means that the Steelix able to come in, get the maximum farm from this Dragonite, because again, it's just going to Dragon Tail it all the way down, and then going to have as much energy as possible. If the Gorgeist comes in, you've got, you're probably going to have like, not quite double crunch, but you're going to have a crunch and a bit, crunch and a third to sort of just start unloading. but Panic needs to be a little bit careful about his shields here. It's actually really good that the Gorgeous came in now because he has the Raining Castform in the back, and Raining Castform would not want to eat a charge move from the Gorgeous in like a late game scenario where there's no shields. So really just Panic's probably happy that it's sort of here. Gets the crunch off as well with the old 1 HP and a dream streak. And it still looks at the back. Raining Castform is going to take this thing out for sure. And these are pretty much GG's again. There's still 2 shields as well. So Panic can pretty much just double shield. Doesn't even need to go for a single charge move because he's not going to get to 3 weather balls to burn 1 shield, burn 2 shield, land. So yeah, this is going to take it out. Gets the defense debuff. But yeah, water gun down. And that is going to be, after another charge move, another shield, this is going to be GG's finally. Out goes the Steelix with the 2 shield flex as well. So able to take out round 4 and is now going into the finals now. Okay, now round 5. This is an absolutely amazing team. I absolutely love it. Going up against Hot Pocket 777. Now Hot Pocket did lose the last round, so Panic is the last remaining undefeated battler left in this tournament, and having to take on Hot Pocket, that's second highest seeded battler in this tournament, running a crazy team with Pelipper, Gliscor, Berserker, Poliwrath, Primep, and Kanto Muck. This is an absolutely awesome team. I'm like so excited for these battles. This is going to be absolutely awesome. I've got the Toxicroak in lead up against Pelipper, not where Panic wants it at all, so I'm sure we're going to see a quick swap into something. It's got the Raining Castform, so swaps into the Raining Castform. We need to do the speedy ups as well. I've got Poliwrath swapping in. Sort of an interesting swap in, because obviously the Thunders are going to hurt. Sort of interesting. What moves does it have? Dynamic Punch. So I guess Dynamic Punch still does a lot of damage, and you can outpace as the Poliwrath to the moves, but still sort of interesting. Thunder. I mean, I guess we see a shield from Hot Pocket, and then goes for another Dynamic Punch, and you could potentially get 3 Dynamic Punches before a second Thunder comes through, or like a cumulative 3 Dynamic Punches. So Panic just lets the Castform go there, brings in the Toxicroak again, sort of using it up a little bit, and keeping that Dragonite for that sort of 2 shield go around in the back. Tanks the Ice Punch. So what's he got? He's got Pelipper, he's got Poliwrath. I guess he's like a little bit weak to the Gorgeous potentially. Oh no, I mean you've still got like wing attacks for it. I don't know what you bring in. Goes to the Mud Bomb though, takes out the Poliwrath, hard swap into the Dragonite, and it is the Berserker in the back. This is not great for Panic. You can see that even though he's got 2 shields, look how much damage these Shadow Claws are doing. It is seriously adding up. It is not great. Shields the first foul play. At this point, goes for the Outrage. Just Hail Mary. Try and take this Berserker out of here. Please, please, please. And it lands. That, oh my gosh. That could be game winning potentially. Has the 1 shield. Oh, no, I think it's not going to be enough. I think this Pelipper is going to get to another Weather Ball before Panic can take this Pelipper out. Goes for this first Dragon Claw, but he's going to need another Dragon Claw to seal the deal, and I'm pretty sure a Weather Ball comes through before you can... Oh! Tried to catch, but no luck there. Takes out the Dragonite. In comes Toxicroak, and down it goes. He saw where the win con was, but unfortunately was not able to execute it there. So Hot Pocket taking that first game, and again, Hot Pocket fighting to rank it a tied victory. Panic the last undefeated battle here, so now needs to win both of the last 2 battles. Skip, and skip back a little bit. I've got the Dragonite up against the Gliscor. Just fight away. This is an interesting matchup. Because again, Dragon Tails adding up a ton of damage, but Gliscor sort of charges up pretty quick as well. So it gets that shield. And at this point, I think you shield if the Dragon... I'm not going to shield. You can tank it, but now you sort of have to decide whether you want to burn a shield so you can get that next Dragon Claw off. Panic deciding to, instead of going for the 2 shield Dragonite strat, going to go for the 0 shield Dragonite strat. Brings in the Raining Castform, in comes Berserker, and now Toxicroak can absolutely have a field day. You're now able to resist all of the moves here, and then just counter all the way down. Hot Pocket went for that close combat to reduce his defense, so the Toxicroak got less farm. Which is definitely the right play when you're in that sort of just really stuck position. Goes for the Sludge Bomb up against the Gliscor just because it's going to do more than the Mud Bomb. Takes it out, and Hot Pocket leaving the Poliwrath for the sweep in the back. This Mud Bomb not going to do heaps. Doesn't need to shield here. but he's going to get pretty low. It is now just going to be Poliwrath versus the versus the Castform. I think the Castform has it here with 2 shields. Oh, that is a huge call and a really big call for Panic there. Calling the Ice Punch there was pretty much sealed the deal, as this is a win for him. If it was a Dynamic Punch and it went through, then Panic would pretty much need to burn shields on both of the next moves and just hope they weren't Ice Punches. But by not shielding the Ice Punch, it sort of just wasted the energy and made sure that Panic was going to be able to get the damage up before the Poliwrath could. So sealing the deal there and puts it at a 1-1 as we go into the very final battle of the tournament here. Again, this has been taken from Panic's Twitch stream, with permission of course, so check out his Twitch in the description down below, because I really feel like us as the sort of Silph content consumers, we really need to get behind our Silph content when it does sort of come out there. Oopsies. And again, obviously this has all been taken from Panic's Twitch stream. Link is in the description down below, because we really do need to support our Silph content when it does come out as us Silph content consumers. It's really awesome to see from Panic's end. But we've got the Dragonite into Pelipper in the lead, and we see the Muk come out. Muk is such a crazy Pokemon. I saw JRE Seawolf talking about it in his Nifty and Thrifty article. It is a pretty interesting Pokemon here. It's in an interesting spot up against Dragonite because it does have that Thunder Punch. And in comes the Rainy Castform, still going to be scared of these Thunder Punches. Going to tank one though, because Castform is a pretty tanky Pokemon, but he's not going to be able to tank another one. So Panic sort of has to shield if he wants to get these Weather Balls off. But again, going for that case of the no shield. Going to bring in the Dragonite back again. At this point, I guess you burn 1 shield on this Thunder Punch. Dragon Tail going to go through, going to take the Muk out, and then you're going to start having the energy ready to go. You could go for the Outrage here, just because you are getting a little bit low, but no, just go for this safer Dragon Claw. At this point, because it's the Pelipper coming out, you could bring in Gorgeous, because you have the shield advantage still. Going to go for the Dragon Claw to weaken down a little bit more though, because now I think you just need the Hexes, and a Seed Bomb will seal the deal here. This is just going to be, I think it's just a Weather Ball. Could it be a Hurricane? Oh, it is a Hurricane. I cannot count at all. That's why I'm not number 3 in the world, gamers. But anyway, Poliwrath comes in. Seed Bomb going through. He's going to do a lot of damage. Going to get another Seed Bomb off. This is going to be an Ice Punch, and it is going to hurt. I think it can hang on, though. It's going to hang on. Going to get... Ooh, didn't tap on them. That might have been a refund. I feel like he tapped it before, but either way, gets that little bit of extra energy, goes for the Seed Bomb here, takes out the Poliwrath. Pelipper comes in and just needs to get to this Seed Bomb and gets there. Panic cheering, he's like, yes! And that is going to seal the deal. And Panic has officially swept 5-0 as the Guardian Cup tournament. Absolute champion, just proving again why he is number 3 in the world. Made some amazing plays. It was really a pleasure to see. And again, we really do, like, as Silph content consumers, we really do need to support this sort of content when it comes up all the time. So please do go ahead and support him. Go follow him on Twitch. Get in there when there are those Silph streams. Join the Discord. Join his cash prize pool Guardian Cup tournament as well, because it's going to be a lot of fun. And if you do want to get some coaching from the number 3 man himself, the Metafire link is down there as well, because Panic, a really great battler, and a really just an amazing guy. So do give him some love. I'll leave his Twitter link in the description down below while we're putting links down there. But yeah, a huge shout out to Panic for sort of sharing this my way, so we can get this sort of coverage keep going out there. But thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, especially that subscribe one. Because I hopped into Panic's stream layout here. I don't have like the Patreons and stuff. Panic's he's changed the whole script on me. But either way, yeah. But before the stream completely dies and he like stops streaming and kills this whole footage while he's changing things in the background. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, whatever it may be. And subscribe if you haven't already, because there's more Silph content where this came from, baby. And watch some other videos too. Okay, bye.